Okay, so let's get started. The oracle that I pulled for you guys is coming from this deck this time. It's using the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle. Okay, and the card that I pulled for you, Aries, is Nirvana Quartz. Look at that. It's beautiful. I'm going to try to not have a glare there. Nirvana Quartz. This is a very high vibrating crystal. This is a crystal that represents your enlightenment. So this is indicating for you it's time to sort of leave karma behind for now, bring in the light, get up into your blissful consciousness, and raise your vibration higher and higher. Okay. Remember, every act, karma is exactly what you do and what you say in every moment sets the table for your future, right? So if you work on, shifting your thoughts and words and actions into positive ones from here, it brings about positivity in your future. The light that you shine now brings light to you later. So what you want to do is just work on your crown chakra. If you do any chakra work or in your meditation, just envision that light shining from your crown and reaching up to spirit, to the divine, because that it's this higher level working here. This is not just every day, like a lot of the cards in the spreads this time, a lot of the signs were pointed toward the past, pointed toward digging deep soul search, pulling up old traumas, healing the heart. Yours is not. Yours is just, what do I reach for next? Let's bring light. Let me shine light to bring light. Okay? I love that. This is a very beautiful beginning to your reading. Okay, so we're going to elaborate on that thought of your enlightenment with the Zen cards. And we're going to use this tree spread that I created. The bottom branch here is kind of where you are now. And then we'll use this rooted energy of the trunk in order to propel us upward and toward even more enlightenment and to a new level of awareness. Okay? Left side cards here are internal energies, sometimes hidden from others, but always within your own awareness. And right side cards are how they show up in your daily life, manifestations, real world interactions. Okay, starting point for you, Aries. Ooh, abundant. I got chills just now. You are starting with the realization and the connection to all that is abundant in your life. When we think abundance, sometimes we think prosperity financially. But when I feel this for you guys, it is all about the abundance of your soul. This is your connections. This is your connection to self, connection to spirit, connection to loved ones. This is the richness of life, just your ability to go out, be in nature, watch the birds, and gain huge messages and fulfillment from that simple act. That is the richness that you carry. That's the abundance that you have. You're sitting on that now, or you soon will be. And with this work towards your greater enlightenment, I mean, what a starting point, right? What a place to start from is already good. And we're going to get even better. So this is reminding you to look at the good, right? We talked about positive thoughts, positive energy. This is your focus to get you started, is on all that is good. Every one of us has light and dark. We have shadow in our lives. We have things that are more of a struggle. We have aspects that are challenging. We have pain. We all have that. But we also all have gifts and positive things and love and, really great creative energy flow. We all have that as well. And though being able to rest where you are, wherever you are, even if it's amongst some pain and challenge, but to be able to really turn your focus and shift your gaze toward those things that are working, toward those things that do bring joy. toward the accomplishments and achievements and connections that bring you well-being, just to be able to shift your focus there for a short time, you're creating your karmic future. You're creating your karma that will, show up later in your life as good stuff. So you need to keep the good flowing with the challenging, right? We need to keep it both, in our awareness. But for right now, Aries, it's all about the good. So we want you to focus on that. Internally, and this internal energy that supports this abundance is laziness. These cards, to me, in ways, are the same. They're both just living happy. This guy here in the laziness card, sometimes we're cautioned to not rest on our laurels. It's not time to slow down yet. You've achieved a lot, but don't stop. I'm saying for this reading and in what I'm getting intuitively, yeah, you got it. Just rest, just be with the good stuff. And you've achieved a lot, and you have a lot. You can take that funny, fancy drink with the umbrella in it and enjoy yourself, right? Get in your swimmers or your robe and sit in the sun and enjoy it. Just soak it all in. Soak in all the goodness. Along with this abundant dude, you got this. So within you, and supporting this need to focus on what's good, you're supported by that. Your internal energies are supporting that, are saying, yeah, that's a really great idea right now. I think I will. I think I'll take, 20 minutes out of every day and just fill myself up with all the thoughts that feel good. And then I'll go about my day. It's not like all sweetness and light, right? It's not all head in the clouds time, but for a few minutes a day, yeah, I'm going to wallow in the good. Okay? That's what brings about more good. And that's what raises you up to that next level. Okay, in your external world, yeah, you may find your mental energies want you to stop doing this. Stop. What are you doing? Are you silly? Stop thinking about all the things that are good. There's also all these things that are bad. You need to be aware of it. You need to be on your toes, right? You may tell yourself that. And maybe the work that you have or the reality you have is kind of in opposition to all this feel-good stuff. Maybe your work is very serious and difficult at times. Or maybe you're like me, a single mom juggling all these kids and really trying to keep it going, right? And that's a serious occupation or whatever. But still, there's time and there is permission, most of all, to focus on the things around you that are working, that are good. So notice when your mind wants to take you off your pedestal, but don't let it. Don't let it take you all the way off. You can notice when it wants to and be the observer of it, but get right back into that feel-good space. Because, you might as well feel good while you're doing the serious stuff, right? So you got to get that base up. You got to get that foundation going. But yeah, this, and our minds are beautifully there for us to have that balance, to have that checks and balances, to kind of say, not too much fun now. But in this process, for this reading, for you guys at this time, Aries, just notice those thoughts. You don't have to go all the way into them at this time, okay? Moving forward, this energy of this trunk card, it's rooted, sort of like an earthy energy, but it's also important to manifest or to master in order to move up and on, is this outsider card. Now, this tells the story of this little boy who really wishes he was living on the other side of that gate. He wants to be in that rainbow world where all the things look light and bright and happy, kind of like this abundance dude. He wants to be that all the time. He wants to be there. And maybe something, the mind, is telling him that he can't. He doesn't belong. He doesn't belong in happiness. It's not his right. Well, if you look closely, the lock on that chain to the gate is not engaged. All he has to do is open the gate and move toward what he wants. And so that's kind of the simplicity of this process for you is to gain your enlightenment. You just need to take a first step. You don't have to be a fully enlightened being walking the planet every single day in your abundance, right? There is balance. There is some seriousness. There is practicality. But for you to have your sort of launching pad be this abundant, happy, positive feeling, if you launch from there, then when the serious stuff comes, you feel safer, you feel more whole because it won't overtake you. The serious stuff has to be tended to, but it doesn't have to overtake you. Okay? And that's what this card's reminding you. You have the path. All you need to do is take that first step. Just right toward it. Right toward the light, right toward the abundance. Okay, and what does that create for you once you master? Oof. Oh, Aries. Oh my goodness. Okay, chills like through and through, head to toe right now for you guys. So what it creates is a sense of harmony, a sense of pure alignment, mind, body, soul, head and heart, real alignment. And your emotions can be within you without overtaking you. You know how you can get thrown off balance by too much sadness or too much joy even? You can stay so centered in your knowing that all is well, that in the knowingness of your well-being, that when you have extreme emotions, they don't take you off your center. You absorb them and you feel them, and then you revert back to that knowing. That's where this positive thinking in the very beginning helps. Always with the positive mindset. I am always okay. I will always be cared for. I will always be supported by spirit. And my alignment is what gets me there. Internally, you're really getting this. Your consciousness is raising exponentially lately. And your intuition is growing, and or you're uncovering it more and more. You're allowing yourself to trust your inner guide. And within you, you know that that's the path to keep on. You know that, and you know that positivity and that sort of looking on the bright side is kind of what's going to keep getting you there. It's not really about, I have to be a realist. I have a serious job, so I have to. Well, you do have a serious job, and you can be a happy, positive, enlightened being doing that serious work. It's possible. Okay? In your external world, this process and this realization of alignment first, positivity first, that brings about your ability to create new perception, but this could also be guiding others to see things differently. Just by setting the example that you're working on here, just by reaching your own stages of enlightenment, you may tap into others. You might turn into sort of like a beacon for others to guide them in their spiritual practice and their reaching for their next step. Alternatively, you could also be looking for creative new ways to maybe a creative new job or a new way of approaching old problems, right? This is just the new vision card is allowing you to open up your horizons and be willing, open, and able to shift your paradigms, to shift your old ways into new ways. And it starts with that positivity. It starts with that for sure. And then the outcome or the insight into this whole reading is this card of exhaustion. So what I'm going to say is twofold. You can ignore the process and say, well, I can only think, positive thoughts just when positive things happen to me. That's the only time I can be positive. I can't create my own positive way of seeing things. I'm not going to. Well, what's that going to end up with? You're going to end up with a tired old mind and just physically exhausted. It will affect you physically if you refuse to see the bright side. I know there are some of us that are just plain realists, and I understand that, but you're not just one thing, right? There's aspects of you that can reach higher. There's aspects of you that know, that can take a trauma and take a pain and find the gift in it. It takes a little practice, but it starts, like I said, with that positivity. And then the other side of this exhaustion card, when I said this was twofold, is that it could also be that since you are doing this work and moving toward your enlightenment so thoroughly and so well with your positive, uplifting, light-filled way of seeing things, since you are putting that to practice, you're avoiding this exhaustion. You're able to sustain the lightness. You're able to sustain the positive feeling, and you're avoiding the burnout. You can still hold that serious job or have that serious aspect of your life with a positive way to see it. It makes the work seem that much less taxing, and it creates more connection between you and others too, because everyone will gravitate to you because the soul work that you've done will show up in your daily life. It will show up and others will notice it. So you can avoid this burnout feeling by putting this into practice now. And remember, none of my readings, none of my guidance is ever asking you to be all of this 100% of the time or you're failed. That is not ever what I mean. So I'm just giving you the potential here. And it is momentary. And then we have so many facets to ourselves as human beings that it's impossible to require any one of us to reach enlightenment and stay there forever, right? It's just not realistic. We have real world things that bring us down a couple notches every now and then we start the work again. And then we bring in light again. So this is just a reminder of when, you find yourself in the position of, having a little willingness to see, to raise your vibration and see the positive side of things. That's the process to take. And the result will always strengthen, your karma going forward. It will always strengthen your future experiences.